Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. The only place where you'll be able to find arcade, console, handheld, and computer games all in the same show. Ladies and gentlemen, we have finished all the games of the summer of 1982, and the last game that we played was Zuckman for the Sinclair ZX81, but we have another big milestone that's even bigger than completing the games in 1982 or summer of 1982. We have been officially completed halfway of all the games of 1982. So we were halfway through the year. I know we're in September, but we finished all the games halfway up to this point. But it's come to my attention there were some games that we missed from the past. So before we move forward, we got to go back. Let's go back in time and catch up on some games that we almost missed, starting with Mar Tesoro for the Atari home computer. This one was originally released at sometime in 1981. Let's take a look at the box for Mar Tesoro, or Sea Treasure. This one's by Synchro. Very, very nice. Scuba diving. This is the very first, if not the only, simulation of scuba diving. Or the idea that we want to find treasure in a simulation, not just an arcade-style game. Let's flip it over on the back. Yes, the lure of sunken treasure has been an intriguing adventure for centuries. Now you can embark on your very own expedition for fame and fortune. With the initial finance, you obtain a necessary equipment to board and explore off the coral reefs around the shores of an island to accumulate treasures, some worthless and others worth a small fortune. So it's treasure hunting simulation. Yeah, never heard of this one. This game and the ones that we're going to be showcasing were brought to my attention from Tristram Cook. So thanks, Tristram, for the heads up. And then after the box, let's see what other artwork we have for Mar Tesoro. Oh, there's the ad you would have seen in magazines for the time. So Synchro, we've already seen a few games on here. We've already seen Alien Hell, which is pretty cool. Drac is Back, Maze of Death, and Astron 4 so far from this ad. I don't think we're going to be checking out Word Mania, but you can see what else is possible that Synchro's done. And there's another ad or a little blurb for an ad. There's Alien Hell, Mar Tesoro, and Maze of Death. Proof that these are real games. I'm not just making this stuff up. With an example of the screenshot, we also have the manual, because I wouldn't know how to start a simulation game for treasure hunting. Look at that. Look at this. It says, color graphics, joystick required. The lure of sunken treasure has been an intriguing adventure for centuries. Now you can embark on your own expedition for fame and fortune. So you get initial financing to obtain necessary equipment and a boat to explore the coral reefs. You accumulate some treasure, return to port where you find a buyer and cash it in, and you're ready to embark on deeper waters by renting a larger boat with deep sea diving gear and possibly a crew that can assist in recovery operations. Treasures are richer as they are harder to reach and may even be buried under the sea floor. If you're successful in recovering sufficient treasure to cash in, you may return to port and rent a deep sea diving bell with crew and head for the open seas in search of a really fabulous fortunes. Let caution be your guide. As in real, true-to-life adventures, there's no guarantee of success. Only logic, strategy, and lady luck will help you prevail. Smooth sailing, Captain, and good luck. I guess they're putting in logic and strategy because it's a simulation game. I'm not familiar with this game at all. I already see in the chat, never seen that one from Arrow before, too. I don't know how popular this one was, but we're going to check it out anyway. So we have a daily rental rate that we can use the equipment. You may go alone as captain of the ship or hire a crew and a historian. All rental fees and wages must be paid prior to leaving the port for the number of days selected. If you choose to hire a crew, you must select a percentage of treasure found to share with them. They'll find work proportional to your generosity. And then it has the diving depth. Your scuba diver can go up to 240 feet, deep sea diver 600, and a bell to 3,000 feet safely. Going beyond these depths are at your own risk. When the maximum safe depth for each diver is reached, an arrow will appear at the bottom of the screen next to the actual depth. If you choose to leave port alone, or if the diver gets terminated, you may start over and try again. So I guess you get to try as much as you want, but how do you know exactly where the treasure's found? Yes, right? Yeah, never seen this one. The historian counts as a crew member only for assistance in recovery operations. This is pretty much how much money you're going to get. That's why you want the historian there. The island's going to be different for every new adventure, so there's a slight randomness to it, but it's really not, because they're just changing slightly of what the island looks like, but not big. If you'd like to continue the same adventure, the island will remain the same, as well as the location of treasure you find. Your first point of departure will be plotted on the chart after your first referral to it, and you can return to port at any time. You'll be refunded for an unused full day's rental time. So you can do that too. Notice the simulation vibes here. But what I want to know is, how are they going to execute the simulation? Because we've seen menu-based systems that just let you select different things, you know, How much you're going to purchase, and then where you're going to go, and you just do a multiple choice. So how are they going to execute this one from 1981? So there's 10 buoy markers that can be used to plot on the chart, which I'm guessing there's a map then if you have a chart. And then they have locating treasure. There's many things to find in the sea. A diver may have to search along the bottom to locate possible treasure. Once discovered, a sound will notify the diver who must return to the ship. The object will be identified and estimated recovery time given. You must decide to make the recovery, drop a buoy, or sail on. Yeah, very detailed. A lot of information here. There's also recovery time to think about. How much coral or several types of coral can be found, and then appraisal using the historian, and then you have even more notes about what's going to happen. Oh, don't confuse them with sharks or giant octopus. Wait, so how much action is in this then? I'm thinking it's not going to be too much. Let's pop in and play Mar Tesoro by Ted Clogs, published by Synchro at sometime in 1981. Here we go. Synchro scene looks just the same. What be your name, mate? Matey, my name be Chrono. Be back soon, Chrono. That means loading. I'm going to be fast-forwarding through the loading. Almost done. Okay, we're going to wait for that because this is cassette if you were playing this originally. All right, so now you can use, interesting, we do have the menu to select the options we want to buy, and I can use the Atari VCS joystick, so I move up and down and select what I want. Let's say I want to go for a diver rig. Okay, bought that one, and then historian. I don't know if I want that one. Let's buy crew members. They're 200 each. So all I'm doing is pushing the red button. So far, the interface is intuitive with the joystick, which is nice. I'm not using the keyboard. And then one, I got the money. Do a historian. Sure. We got plenty of capital. And then you can erase it all if you want to clear per diem, and then we're ready to sail. Let's go. What percentage of treasure will you share with your crew? What if we say no? Share something, you cheapskate. Okay, so we can't share nothing. Let's go ahead and share. They get 25% of all the treasure. Select the number of maximum days for rental. Looks like 2's our maximum, so I'll just say 2. Captain Chrono, best of luck to you. Wait, am I a pirate or a treasure hunter? Maybe I shouldn't be using a pirate voice. Yes, I like the Gilligan's Island reference too. So we have chart, dive, treasure list. Okay, so we don't have any treasure yet. Let's go to the chart and see what happens. Weather says it's clear. Oh, we do have graphics. Very intriguing. So I can move. Wow, okay. I can move around the island and select a spot. I bet there's treasure hiding right in here. And now what do? I dive. This is all happening with the Atari VCS joystick. All right, not seeing anything there. It looks like it's... Oh. It says there's something here, but oh, I don't think I have the equipment to buy it yet. But look at this. It's actually graphics animated to move around and dive. So I can actually swim and move around. I am very surprised. Most of the time when we play a simulation game of this era, you're not going to get this much. Make it to recovery, drop the buoy, sail on, and then you can use the joystick for what you want. So I'll go ahead and make the recovery. Not enough rental time left. Oh, okay, so I can't do that. All right, we'll just do sail on. And now we can go back to the chart, move our ship to a different spot. Oh, we got something. Oh, that's the dock up there. Rental time is up, Chrono. Coast Guard escorts you to the port and confiscates your treasure. Our rating was 1, so we already died, or we already finished that fast. Do we want to say yes? Go ahead and go up, and then you begin again. Very, very cool. Okay, so really, really quick introduction of how the game works, but as far as simulation games go, this is pretty good. Yeah, I would have to. I would actually want to play more. This isn't just the decide what you want from multiple choice menu. You are getting to use the joystick and move around the simulation and treasure hunt, and then of course make decisions like it's a strategy. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not as intense as Utopia for the Intellivision, but for a home computer, it's still all right. I got to say, for Mar Tesoro for 1981, I'm still going to say around 3 stars. Average title, but very well done if you think of all the other simulations that have happened up to this point. All right, but that's not all. We also have another game that we almost missed. I'm so glad we didn't miss this one. This one is Manhattan from Data East, and I thought we had played or checked out every game from Data East. I want the whole set. So here we go. This is Manhattan. We're going to the arcade. Let's take a look at the advertisement flyer. There you go. Another one by the Deco cassette system, which means I'm probably going to have to fast forward because this is loading a cassette tape into an arcade game. A trampoline jumping game on the concrete jungle of Manhattan. So we're going to New York. Oh, sad. The Twin Towers right there on the front, I think. And then we have instructions over here on how to play. It's hard to see the instructions, though. They're kind of mixed in with the color in the background. So there you go. This is the Deco cassette system. If you see in the front, that's the slot where you'll slip your cassette down, along with all the PCBs to play. Too cool. And then an example of a screenshot. That's all we got. Let's pop in and play, or let's go to the arcade and play Manhattan by Data East at some time in, I think, either late 1980 or early. We're going to say around January 1980 as far as sources go, that this one came out. 1981. So January 1981 for Manhattan. And just like the Deco cassette system, we have to fast forward. So we are cranking up the speed. I'm not going to wait the whole time for the cassette to load. What a crazy idea. Putting cassette tapes to play video games is just ridiculous. Yes, it's Proto-Neo Geo, precisely, Victor. It's amazing it starts here. And it's amazing it starts with a cassette instead of, using a cartridge or anything else. It's crazy. So very glad we didn't miss this one because I wanted to play everything by Data East, and I really thought we did. I'm surprised that this one slipped through. All right, let's see what in the world's up with Manhattan. You approach the arcade cabinet and you tell yourself, okay, it's flashy. It's got some nice colors. Okay. Let's see. It starts with an attract mode that just has that. Okay. Go ahead and put a coin in. And let's go. Trampoline jumping simulator. I love it. All right, so the first thing that happened is when you drop on the trampoline, you have to push the button at the right time, and I did not. So I'm a clown or an acrobat. Let's try it again. Yeah, so it's whenever the trampoline reaches a certain point, but if you don't do that, then nothing really happens. Ready, go! Oh, Steve, wrong timing still. And you go down. So if you've seen video footage of someone doing this and didn't know what was happening, you would think this is what the game is, but it's not. So it's a trampoline jumping game, and the player uses the trampoline to send the Deco Kid, that's who that is, I love that name by the way, Deco Kid, flying through the air and have to safely land on the bars, avoiding balloons and obstructions. It seems like landing on bars or different points, or maybe landing on certain spots give you different points. The player's soaring and descending speed is displayed on the center and the upper part of the screen. The maximum speed is 49 if the speed is reached. The Deco Kid lands on the roof of the building. If the speed is below 8, the Deco Kid will not bounce. And kind of like what we did. Once the Deco Kid moves to the next terminal, all the points from bouncing on the landing bars will be tallied up. There's also hammocks that can be landed on any speed. When the player lands on the Deco Kid on the roof of the skyscraper on the right, 3 reels of figures appear, similar to a jackpot machine, almost like we're doing gambling. You press the launch button and the player can try to stop them from revolving at the highest possible present. And this is added to the player's score. And if you do all this, you'll get scores added up. So in a way, I would think this is attached to some kind of redemption game, but I can't prove that. I haven't found something that this is attached to tickets. All right, put another coin in, and let's go. This is so early on, though, that it's around the time that you would have had... Oh, I still missed it again? And I feel like I'm failing in the arcade. Let's try it again. Oh, see, didn't push it at the right time, but I did push it that time. All right, we'll try it again. Nope, it's still not going. I'm telling you it works, but the timing must have to be exactly where it needs to go. And now I feel like if it was January 1981, I'd be throwing my quarter away in the arcade trying to play Manhattan. I really hope this was a game that only made not really points, it also made tickets. Let's go again. There we go. So you got a little bit, and you see you're supposed to go to the next section. And they give us an applause. Great job. We've used the trampoline. That's a better one. Look at that. Yeah, good shout out. We haven't seen Mappy yet, even in 1982, and this is 1981, so there's no Mappy. Oh, and you're supposed to avoid the balloon. See, I think you would want to get them for points. But nope, not going to happen. Let's try it again. Get good timing here. Avoid the balloons. Don't land on the cactus, obviously. We'll try this one. Oh, okay, so it bounces you off, but then once you hit anything on the side, you drop dead and fall all the way to the ground. Come on, Deco Kid. I believe in you. I guess they didn't believe you enough. In a way, doesn't it feel like we're playing a version of Lunar Lander, or a version of that carnival game that you take the mallet and you whack the mallet as hard as you can to try to get as high as you can go? That's what I feel like we're playing. Alright, got a little bit more height there. This is like proto-doodle jump. No one even knew what that is. Oh, the cactus! Does it get... Oh, did we fall? I was hoping we'd hit more cactuses on the way down, but it looks like no. So even in 1981, you have to admit, this is very much early platformer. And it's also early, there's no other trampoline games out there. So Data East is still doing something that's different and new. To be familiar with how the game works, though, we have control of the character. So as soon as I launch... Oh, that's a really good one. Whoa. I wasn't expecting the timing to work so well. Once you get a good launch, yeah, we got a lot of points now. All the way, go. Let's see. Does that say 0 points? Well, I made it to 47 feet. I'll take it. But notice how I have this little nuanced control where I can control him and bounce around for points, and then gather more and more points on your way down. Let's see if I can get some more. So you're trying to do that without hitting anything else. So in a way, it's almost like an aerial game. You're supposed to control yourself in midair. Not so much like the trampoline, like you would expect. And then you can hit other trampolines and go even higher. Wow. So first glance, it seems we're playing for tickets, or it's just a waste. But yes, it's no burger time, but you gotta admit, this is, you know, either very late 1980 or early 1981 when this one came out. All right, so after going to the arcades to play Manhattan in 1981, I still got to say it's all right. It's not really a poor game. I wouldn't say 2.5 stars or lower than 3 stars. I'd actually say of all the arcade games you could play at this point in this range, I'd still say above average. It's a fun experience because you need to jump on a trampoline, getting the timing right, flying at the top, and controlling the character. I'll say 3.5 stars in 1981 or late 1980 for Manhattan by Data East. Not bad, not bad. All right, and we have one more title. All these brought to us from some that let me know we were missing out on some games. We have on the Apple II, this is Falcons. Another one I'm very glad we did not miss out on. Falcons is a game that possibly was released at some time in August 1981. So this is by Piccadilly Software. Falcons. Cool. Now, you have to remember that Phoenix just came out. This is possibly one of the very first Phoenix variants for any home computer at this point. That's how early this Falcons game is. And this is what the riff is, you can see from the front. The objects break through the mothership and destroy the alien commander in as few shots as possible. And so we're going to be playing Phoenix for the most part. Let's see the other artwork we have for Falcons. So after that, we have the 5 1/4 floppy disk we're going to pop in. You need 48K in your Apple II for this. Let's do it. It's time to play Falcons by Eric Barsani and Thomas Bell. Now this is another one I have to speed up because it takes a little bit of time to load, and every now and then we have games that do that. All right, B-Run Falcons, engage. Oh, great! So you have heard of this one. That's great. All right, so let's go ahead and speed this up. I don't like it whenever the loading screen says this may take a while, because that usually means it's going to take a very long time to load. So we are speeding up. We're in. And we're going to go ahead and look at all the options we have for controls. I'm going to go with paddle controls, but you can do keyboard or joystick to play Falcons. Your choice. Here we go. Thomas Ball. I'm sorry if I said Thomas Bell. There's our score table. Very nice. And we want a 1-player game. If you do 2 players, that's alternate play. And we're in. Oh, there we go. That's the kind of Apple II sound I was hoping for. So what I'm looking for in this one is, do we see any boss, like in Phoenix? And which levels of Phoenix do they include in this? Oh, man. They go all the way across the side at us? Must be ready for that. So all I have is the movement to go left and right. Yeah, I have no way... But I only have one shot at a time. A la Phoenix. Yeah, we got a different variation at the top, but you can tell of the games we played for home computers up to this point, this is a really good, really well-made game. Of all the shooters you could have been playing by August 81, it's still very, very well done. We're also getting a little bit of speed up. Notice how the Starfield's speeding up and the enemy patterns. It's almost like we're playing Space Invaders. And then we get our... Oh, yeah, here he is. The beginning of the enemies growing larger and larger at us. Yes. Player 1, game over. Yeah, I like the explosion effect. At this point, we've already seen a few of them that were pretty good. Let's go in again. One player. I want to see past the actual Phoenix. But that's what makes this game so impressive for the time. Being able to play this at home, different stages as a shooter for your Apple II means I'm definitely going to go above average of all the shooters you could be playing right now. Yeah, very, very well done. They even have the scrolling Starfield in the background, making it almost feel like you're playing a scrolling shooter. Oh. There we go. And plays well, and I like that when computer games give you options for controls. If you did pick keyboard controls, you also have the option to remap the keyboard to play something else. Well, that's true. I haven't tried to pull back. No, forward and back isn't working for shield. Yeah, it's not working for those, so I'm not sure. Yeah, from the controls that I've read, there isn't a shield option for this one. Wow. And then game over. All right, so if we did get to the next screen, there is the boss. So you can see in Falcons the boss. So because of the multiple stages, the play control options for play control, and for shooters on all the home computers you'd be playing right now, Falcons is a very well-made game. I'm going to have to go 4 stars for Falcons. So glad that we got a chance to see this one and didn't miss it. Yes. And yes, I'm with you, Errol. Better than some of the arcade games you could play at the time. Wow. Errol's even going to go 4.5 stars. Fantastic. All right, and with that, we've now finished the games we almost missed, and we are done with all the games in the summer of 1982. Let's see what's next in September of 1982. Starting with the very first game on the Apple II, this is Adventure at Windmere Estate. This one has no box, just a few screenshots. Let's just go in and play Adventure at Windmere Estate by Dennis N. Strong, published by Dynacomp. At the beginning of September 1982. And if it says adventure, that means it's text adventure. Hopefully it won't be loading forever. Let's do this. Yeah, I see Curtis throwing out some too. Yeah, I thought it was very well done. I'm very glad it was brought to my attention. And if there's any other games that we've missed even farther along in the past, let me know, because I want to be able to play or showcase all of them. Oh, it is going to take a little bit of time to load. So this one is another text adventure game that boasts 100 different rooms that you could play in. Welcome to the Windmere Estate. It was once a very beautiful place, but has grown shabby from disuse. There still are many places to explore, and has been rumored that there are treasures which may have been left by pirates who once prowled the grounds. As a general rule, if you find yourself unable to do what's necessary, you probably aren't using the right words. Yeah, we know. We played adventure games. Keep at it. And finally, things will happen. There are occasionally hints available at the complex spots. Moving is done by using compass points like north, south, east, and west. Everything else is done with 1 or 2 word phrases, so it's a 2-word text parser. You can also use hint like take or take crowbar. Points are scored by dropping items at the warehouse. So it's like a classic Colossal Cave or adventure variant where you just go get things, bring them back to get points. And we're ready to proceed. We're in the Rose Garden. You're standing in the middle of the Rose Garden. In the north, a path leads to a small building. South, you can see a tall hedgerow. A path leads east to the main gate and west to an old stone well. Let's go west. I should have tried W first. You're at the stone well. You're standing beside the stone well. The bottom is barely visible, but seems to be dry. The rope and bucket are old and rotting and are of no use. To the south, you see a hedge row. A path leads north and bends to the east, and another very descriptive. Kind of reminds me of Zork-ish, but not that high. Yes, welcome to September, and we start off with an adventure game. I think we've begun most of the months of this year in 1982 with adventure games. Text adventure games are all the rage. This is no exception. All right, I'm going to try E. Does east work? Yes. Does east work again? All right, the main gate. Although the gate's completely rusted now, the main entrance to the estate. Through the gate is a visible large, low building. To the south is the gatehouse, and the path leads north along the stone wall. A gravel path leads to the west. Nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and go north. You're in front of a small building, what seems to be a groundkeeper's cottage. There's a path that leads east and west and south, and a door with one window visible on the ground floor. So you see how this is panning out. This adventure game, while it's saying it has 100 rooms or 100 locations for the estate, it's not really a big story. It's also kind of disappointing that it's not a haunted house. Like, we're just going to go explore an estate, find treasure, and then come back. And it has very, very simple puzzles. So if we continue on, you'll notice the puzzles actually make sense. So in one way, you could say it's not like a crazy, complicated United Kingdom adventure game that they made it like as ridiculously possible, and the puzzles don't make sense. This one, they actually do make sense, but so much to the point that it's very, very easy to figure out. So I'd still say we're not going to go any further. It's a very quick affair to play. I'm still going to have to say this is a fairly average or standard text adventure game, possibly even subpar considering all the other games you could be playing on a home computer. The Adventure at Windmere Estate, I can understand why it was not preserved as well with the box and so forth. So I'm gonna have to go 2.5 stars of all the games you could play across all the home computers. It's all right, but we played much better. And let's see what our next game is. Yeah, I'm with you, Psychosis. I say beginner too. And that brings us to our second game, The Adventure at Zodiac Castle, also on the Apple II. This one's another one that is the same developer. We're going to go ahead and pop right in and play. This is by Dennis and Strong, published by Dynacom at sometime at the beginning of September 1982. All right. Looks familiar, right? I'm glad they give us a nice screenshot because that's all you're going to get. There is no other artwork. It's all text after this. This one has a little more interesting story than just going in a house and delivering treasure. It's using the same engine that Dennis created. And notice that they're not doing anything with Scott Adams or the Adventure International engine. Yes, the Pac-Man lunchbox. I'm sure there are a lot of people. Welcome to the Kingdom of Zodiac. It is small, but the very interesting kingdom. But very interesting kingdom. Wait, I didn't go to the next screen. I didn't get to finish the story. The story just flashed on the screen, meaning the story is not important. You're in a wooded glen, so this is fantasy-based. You're standing in the middle of a wooded glen surrounded by a dense oak forest. Narrow road leads to through the forest to the east. So that's all I can go, straight forward? Okay, let's head east. You're at a crossroads. In an intersection of narrow roads, one leads west to the forest and east toward what appears to be a magnificent castle. The other goes north to a small cottage and south past a sign reading The Gilded Cock Tavern. I'm sorry, what? Let's go south. You are in the Gilded Cock Tavern. I apologize if you're watching this in the future. It has a different meaning for other people. The Gilded Cock Tavern is obviously used by the peasants. Yeah, obviously. The tables and benches are rough-hewn oak, probably from the surrounding forest. The floor is bare and also made of oak. There are a few bottles and kegs stacked behind the bar. Come on, Dennis. Dennis had to have known when he was programming the game what he was doing. You see a wooden keg of ale. Get ale. You take the wooden keg of ale and the lamp. We gotta have a lamp. We don't want to be stuck in the dark. We might be eaten by a grue. Wrong game, but same idea. Yes. All right, so let's go ahead and go from here. I think we need to get out of this tavern. The name is scaring me. All right, let's see. We got a few bottles stacked behind the bar. We just have to go back out? Yeah, we just have to leave. So you just go in the tavern, grab stuff, and then come back at the crossroads. And if I say look, it'll give me the description again, right? Yeah, there we go. And the whole thing's scrolling up. So it still gives it the feel that this is not the most crisp adventure game, but pretty still average or around the average range if you think of all the ones we played so far. All right, I'm just going to do a brief taste of Adventures at Zodiac Castle. I'm still going to say, just like the other one, it's a 2.5-star game of all the games you can be playing on a home computer. For adventure game aficionados, though, you can check it out. It's the beginner's version of adventure games. All right, and with that, let's see our next game. Here on the Commodore VIC-20 in the United Kingdom, this is Alien Soccer. Oh man, prepare your eyeballs for the front of this box. I don't know if those are aliens or melted gumdrops. That just looked crazy, crazy terrible. On your unexpanded VIC, by the way, with an example of the screenshot, it's time to pop it and play Alien Soccer. This is by Jeff Shiska, published by Rabbit Software, and then later in the United States by Luna Software, the beginning of September 1982. All right, so this one, we have the choice of doing paddle, joystick, or keyboard. Love the options. Let's go ahead and go paddle and see what happens. Difficulty level, let's do difficulty 3. Okay, we're in. Am I not able to move? Interesting. It's not doing the... Oh, wait. I think I selected the wrong thing. Let's do it again. Because it gives us the options for it. So I'm going to try it again with a different control option. Let's redo it. Yeah, cheap art not necessarily means bad game. But it's true most of the time in the United Kingdom it's that way. All right, let's do this again. And go. Level 3. There we go. We're in. It is a side perspective view of... I don't want to call it Breakout because I'm not really breaking anything. It feels more like I'm playing pinball on its side. The first Breakout that was done by Steve Wozniak on the Apple II was the side version, you know, tilted on its side version of Breakout that's like this. But this one feels more like I'm playing pinball. Popping the ball and paddles. So it's the same idea. It's a ball and paddle game, just like Pong. At this point in the history of all the games we played, we've seen 90 different ball and paddle games or Pong-like games like this. So it's nothing new. I'll go ahead and slow the difficulty down. Doesn't it feel that way? It's not really foosball because it's only one player. And all we're doing is racking up, we're just racking up points, almost like we're playing pinball. So at this point in history, some of the best ways to play ball and paddle games one of them was on the Atari 800 called Clowns and Balloons. That was a fairly good one, but the best of the best so far is on this home computer. On the Commodore VIC-20 is Pinball Spectacular that HAL Laboratory did. That was one of the best ones you could play up to this point. So on the VIC-20 alone, though, there's better ball and paddle games than this one. It's not as good as Super Breakout, and if you think of the other home computers out there, I would even say Throw the Wall, that's on ZX Spectrum, is a little bit better than this one. The control options are kind of nice, but we do get the option to speed it up. How fast does this sucker go? If I do 5, what's it like? Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah, it's almost unplayable. It's so fast if you do skill level 5. Yeah. Or you're very good at it being random. Wow. Fast game over. It still feels like I'm playing pinball and not really ball and paddle or Pong games. All right, let's try it. What about level 1? The slow one. Still get 5 lives or 5 balls to bounce around. And I did see it was changing the board up a little bit, but you can tell it's not really enough to be as impressive as the other titles you could be playing on home computers. So I gotta say it's down in the bad range. I'm gonna say 2 stars of all the games you could be playing on a home computer, and considering the other ball and paddle games too. That's a Alien Soccer. Man, oh man, there's better ones that you could be playing. So at this point, Arrow's going 2.5 stars. Yeah, check out the other ball and paddle games because there's been some really, really good ones. Skitterine. I'm sure I mispronounced that one. That's another one on the Commodore VIC-20. That's a very well done ball and paddle game. All right, let's see what's next. It's time to check out the latest issue of Analog Computing. This one is issue 7. So, this magazine is one we've seen 7 times here on the channel, and Analog Computing stands for actually, I don't remember what Analog stands for. It's like another Atari magazine that with lots of games. That's what the log stands for. Atari magazine with lots of games, something like that. And that's what this one is, Analog Computing. Take a look at the front of the magazine. This one has the Atari logo from a skyscraper view. Very nice. Love the artwork on the front. This is going to give us the tips and tricks or what's happening in the world of Atari computing, or on the Atari 400 and 800, possibly even the 1200. I'm not sure if this magazine has it. Oh, I love, yeah, the Towers of Tron. Good point. All right, let's flip it open and see what it's like. Got that over here on the left side for Mosaic RAM systems. We'll breeze by that. But here you go. You can see Zork is out. Zork 1 and Zork 2. If you don't have a mainframe computer, you can check it out. We've already played Zork 1 and Zork 2 up to this point. Let's flip on. Loving all the stuff by Infocom. Over here on the left side is Compute Magazine, or ordering from Compute Magazine. We don't showcase every single video game magazine, just highlighting a few of them, or the major publications, but we've already seen several typing games from Compute, or even books from Compute up to this at this point. And then over here we have the table of contents. We're going to go through the whole magazine, so we don't need to take a look at the table of contents. I know, Zork, right? So cool. And then we have editorial from the main editor on the left side, and then over here we have the writing in to Analog, which also has some people wanting technical help for the Atari home computer, and why not? There's a lot of manuals we've played here on the read before playing the game that give you troubleshooting how to make your game work if it doesn't work. Yeah, look at that, using the Axelon RAM disk, and they have tons of, look at the answer for the person's question on using BASIC and the Atari word processor. All right, flip it on to the next page. Oh, we got an ad for Crush, Crumble, and Chop. We played this on several computers already. I don't think we're done. I think we're going to see it some more. It's the strategy game that's not what you'd expect. It's not like Rampage or the later games that have a giant monster that you control. It's all strategy, and controls very similar to Dungeon Quest, where you have to type in the commands you want. I love this. Gentlemen, I've had my Atari 400 computer for 4 months, and I want to know, is there a simple way to draw a circle? And they told them how to break down sine and cosine on their Atari home computer. Nice. And then over here we have, I guess someone put in their own game in the magazine. You can see it on page 26, so we'll be checking that one out. Flip it on the next page. Slow Delivery Syndrome. And oh my gosh, look at this. Benioff at Large by Mark Russell Benioff. Welcome to another exciting issue of Analog and another Benioff at Large. New from Infocom. He's talking about Zork over this side, and Pacific Coast Highway, still to this day the best way to play Frogger at home, in my opinion. You can play 2-player Frogger. It has all that you would want for a Frogger game, and we haven't even seen all the official Froggers on home computers yet. I don't know. Curtis is making fun of how to draw a circle. I love it. And then we also have Ulysses, which we've also seen that one too on the channel. We played a little bit of that one, as usual, for graphics games. So this is Mark Russell Benioff giving us the preview of what's happening next. And Mark Russell Benioff is another, he reposted one of our videos because we showcased one of his first games he ever did. He's the current CEO of, he's the owner of Time Magazine and the CEO of Salesforce. All right, let's flip on to the next one. Next page, software review by K-Byte. Look at this. They have the KDOS. And this is the operating system they were using for some of the other K-Byte software that we played, like Crazy Chase and things like that. I don't know what the best beaver contest is, but we'll move on to the next page. And we have some new products out. Oh, here we go. This is what they're talking about, Deadline, which we've already played on the channel. It is the Infocom's murder mystery game. One of the best computer games you could play to this point. Fantastic. I know, right? I don't think there was as many viruses or as prevalent viruses. At least, there's no internet back then. But yeah, you still could have a sick computer. All right, flipping on the next one. Oh, look at this. Atari 2019. It's all about Blade Runner. I believe it came out in March of 1982. I know it was before the summer of 1982. It's like the future. 2019. If only Atari knew what they would be like in 2019. That's too crazy. Got some pictures of Blade Runner too. Fantastic. And then over here we have a utility help. They always do this in analog because it's slightly technical, helping out the programmers. And let's flip to the next page. Yeah, you can see using Bun Crunch. Flipping to the next one. Still more of the program. And then we have assembly language over here on the right side. Very nice. Flipping on to the next page, we got Add by SSI. Battle of Shiloh and Tigers in the Snow. Both of these games we played. They're okay, but we've played some of the better ones by SSI. They're a very well-made strategic simulation game, but there's been some more popular, crazier ones out there besides these two. How to restore your mental health. And I'm guessing this is how to use more memory in your computer. Yeah, that's it. How to restore your memory. Yeah, they're not going to give you any psychological help here in Atari Magazine. Let's flip it over. I know, right? They only missed COVID by a year. I love it. And then over here we have an ad for, very interesting. What is this? What is Airstrike? Because we haven't played this one on the show, and I'm not familiar with this one. And when I looked this up on Atari Mania and Atari Age, they don't know what Airstrike is either. So maybe it had its name changed. We have seen what looks like in the picture a scramble variant, so maybe that's what it is. But keep on the lookout for Airstrike and let me know if it's a game we should have seen so far. All right, let's flip it on to the next page. We got the Program Doctors, and they're doing the review on Raster Blaster, a really well-made pinball game. Great pinball titles or virtual pinball that you could play. Really, really nice. The Program Doctor just basically tells you how to play better. And you notice that they have their rating scale too. They're giving this one out of 10, Concept 8, Originality 7, Challenge 9. Yeah, high ratings all around, and I agree. Raster Blaster, I think we gave it 4 stars when we came out. Oh, yeah. That's right, top company. Strategic and D&D as well. Yeah. All right, so over here we got some ads for some other applications. We'll flip by there. And then here we got tons of games that we've seen. There's Pacific Coast Highway, Canyon Climbers, a fantastic game, Mouse Attack, Slime, Nautilus. Oh, yeah, these... now, if you look at Canyon Climber, that was one of the best ways you could play a Donkey Kong game. It's not like Cannonball Blitz. I say Cannonball Blitz would be a better way to play Donkey Kong, but Canyon Climber is still very well done. Mouse Attack is like Pac-Man. Slime is the, I think that's Datacomp, or Synapse, sorry, Synapse Software. Slime isn't one of the best ones that Synapse has done. Nautilus, though, wow, Nautilus is fantastic. One of the best games you could play up to this point is a split-screen game where one person gets to control a submarine, and the other person gets to control the destroyer. Then we got Caverns of Mars, fantastic game to play at the time. Crossfire is like a... it's like the top-down maze game that we've already seen up to this point. Plenty of games like Crossfire, but it's well done. And then over here, I think is all the educational and application software. We'll flip on to the next page. Oh, this is great. This is Dino Battle. Now, this is coming for the first time on the Atari home computer, but Dino Battle we've already seen on the show. This was out on other magazines before Analog put it here, and we've played Dino Battle. It's essentially like they're trying to play or make Dino Wars that was on the Coco, but for the other home computers. This is definitely not Dino Wars. It's not up to that level of polish. I say it's a bad game. But a cool game if you wanted to spend the time to type it in. Look at all that. Let's just spend some hours typing in Dino Battle to play. All right, flip it on. There we go. More about Dino Battle, but we'll keep going to the next one. Next one, we have Race in Space. And this one we saw in 1981. So already played this one. Great artwork here, though. I like that. And then we have some other stuff from Weston Software on the right side. Every now and then when I'm preparing for the show or preparing dates, I'm going through the magazines and looking up every game that comes in the magazine and doing my best to see if anyone on the internet has any information about the game besides the magazine. And so you can see here they're going through several games here. A lot of times when it breaks down slower games there's not a lot of information about the game, then it's usually lost to time, which is too bad. All right, let's keep going. What does Analog got for us? Oh, this is just some code for faster character dumps. Helpful if you're a programmer. Let's keep going on to Sound Lab. Don't have that. And then keep going to... Oh, here we go. This is the Scott Adams Adventure Series. His overview. Scott Adams is at it again. This is the artwork that we've seen for the new version, or the Scott Adams Adventure games. Let's see what he says. The bottom of a deep chasm. Yeah, he's doing the adventure... What adventure games are. You run into a barrier, not able to discover more rooms. Don't give up. And you have to give up. It's text adventure games. Hey, Errol, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is the artwork they had for the Scott Adams graphic adventure games, which we've seen all of them up to, I think, the 5th one they've remade on lots of computers. All right, flip it on to our next page. This is... I want to know what this is, actually. This says it's the voice box for the Atari home computer. And at this point, we haven't seen any games that use the voice box. If this is an actual peripheral that other games used. It's called the Alien Group that made this, and it's supposed to allow you to talk from your Atari home computer. So hopefully we can see some games that utilize that one. And then we go into more application software. We're not going to talk about budget worksheets. Moving on to the next one. We got multiprocessing on your Atari, which that's pretty cool to have multiprocessing. I can't believe that's possible in 1982. And while this magazine is the publication September 1982, we all know that the magazine came out earlier than that. Or was available more than that. And over here we got the back issues of Analog. If I could go back in time, I'd tell people, quick, buy all the back issues, so we don't lose any. And let's flip on to the next page. We got the program doctors at CES. What's happening at CES? We got Crazy Critters. We've already seen that one. And K-Star Patrol. Very well done on the Atari. And Crazy Antics, like I mentioned earlier. All by K-Byte. And I believe it was because they're showing off their new operating system that's using to load it up. And then we had to check out the Atari booth and their new 5200 Super Game System. So this is the first time that they've referred to it as the 5200, because at this point we've only heard it called the Super Game System or the Atari Super System. So this is the first reference we've seen them calling it the 5200, which it still isn't out yet. The ColecoVision is. And now the 5200 is the other console we're all excited for, at least Atari fans are excited to see. Not out yet. And then we got some educational titles like Juggles House and Juggles Rainbow. Oh, good. Okay, so yeah, we will see the voice box for that one. Great. Because we've already seen voice boxes on other home computers like the Apple II, and then, of course, on consoles. And then here we go. We got the direct modem link for the Telelink on Atari. Connect your modem. And we also have prices decreased for Asteroids. Okay, prices going down. The 400 dropped to $300. Very nice. This is so cool, getting like a article of what it's like to be at CES, the Summer Consumer Electronics Show. And the last place they stopped was Thorn EMI, a very well done, or a very great developer and publisher for the Atari home computer in United Kingdom. And let's see, they're supporting, the darts is what they got, and pool programs. Those are really good. Let's see if they have more about that. Oh, yeah, Submarine Commander. Nice. Jumbo Jet Pilot. Yeah, we played all these. And then soccer. We haven't seen soccer yet. It's coming up really soon. Yeah, Kickback, I think is what it was called at some point. And then we have the Snooker, Super Cubes. Yep, we've seen most of these by Thorn EMI. And then over here we have... Math Fun, Edu Fun. Okay. We'll breeze by those. Oh, here we go. The Synapse Software booth has Slime, Seamus, and Nautilus. Those are some good ones. And then Night Rally, Arcade Baseball. They left Synapse and went... Oh, they followed up with Arcade Plus, who did Ghost Hunter. Ghost Hunter is fantastic. Night Rally, Arcade Baseball, Arcade Pro Football. And they said a Pac-Man phone to go with your Pac-Man lunchbox, I guess. And then the infamous controller the Atari makes. Have you had to replace one? The command control. And then we have over here epics with Crypt of the Undead, The Nightmare. And see, these games, King Arthur's There, Escape from Vulcan's Isle, all these we've had sprinklings of, but we haven't got the full releases of yet. So we've showcased some of them on the channel, but we're going to be seeing the rest later. The CES, or Summer Consumer Electronics Show, is kind of like the preview of what's going to be coming for the rest of the year. Wow, 600, that's amazing. Oh, yes, right there, the 2600. Yeah, thank you, Joshua. All right, so we also have lots of games that they're showcasing from the CES show. That's so cool. All right, so over here we got, what else is coming out? Yep, Rockland's going to be bringing Deluxe Invaders, Wizard of War coming out, and Gorf. So like games we haven't seen yet, those are going to be coming soon. And it's just exciting that it's coming up. And over here we got an ad for Moonbase IO. This game is very unique. Whenever you play this game, it plays the audio of people talking while you're playing the game. It's a game we weren't able to showcase correctly on the show, so I gave links of someone actually playing the cassette tape while the game's being played. Really, really unique idea. Moonbase IO, check that one out. And then we have complex data structures. Nope, breezing by. We're not programming. Get to the games, man. Yeah, here we go. Atari VCS. Okay, so we got several titles of VCS announced in the electronic show. Soon to be available is Atari's Demons to Diamonds. It's a kids game designed to increase hand-eye coordination. Demons to Diamonds is a kids game designed to increase hand-eye coordination. Atari is insane. They are insane. We've already seen Demons to Diamonds. We've already seen Math Grand Prix and Berserk. We've already seen that one. But they also say Star Raiders is coming out soon, and that one's really close. I think we're going to see that in a few episodes. Works well on the VCS, as well as football, home run. It's now called baseball. And then they said they saw Frog Pond, volleyball, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. We're going to be seeing that one soon. Adventure 1 and Adventure 2, which I don't think we're going to be seeing Adventure 2. Maybe we'll never see that one. And then we also have, a new company. Arcadia is coming, and we've already seen Arcadia with the release of all of the plugging in your cassette into another device that's an add-on for your Atari VCS. There it is. The Master Cartridge. And there it is, the price we were asking about. $70 is what it says here. And then the titles Fireball, Communist Mutants from Space, and Phaser Patrol. We've already played those three. And then we have 3 more games that will be coming out later. And then we also have from Activision Mega Mania coming out soon. Haven't seen that one yet. And then they're going to follow Star Master and what was the other one? Oh, Chopper Command. Or Chopper Command? Or Chopper Commander. I thought it was Chopper Command. Maybe they're saying it wrong. And then we also have more games, all this stuff coming out for the Atari VCS. Spectravision is going to bring out Planet Patrol and Gangster Alley. We haven't seen that third-party software. And then 20th Century Fox, we haven't seen any of their games yet, but they're coming out soon too. Deadly Duck, Beanie Bopper, all this is coming. Tiger Electronics, their new games are River Patrol, Marauder, King Kong, and Jawbreaker and Threshold. And yet we've seen those. Jawbreaker's coming that we're going to see on the show really soon. And then Magic has, after Demon Attack, Cosmic Arc Atlantis. So we're going to be seeing Demon Attack very soon too. It says, incidentally, Demon Attack will be available for the Atari computers shortly. Yes, it will. And then we have US Games, which I don't know if we're going to see that one anytime soon. Lots coming out. I like how they do that. Even though this is a magazine for the Atari home computer, we still get to find out what's happening in the world of the Atari VCS. All right, so over on the left side, we have Artworks with Golden Gloves, another game we're going to be seeing soon. The magazine's like telling us the future. Man, it's great flipping through these magazines, getting an idea of what it was like to get excited for the video games before they come out. And then we have some more tutorials, really nice, showing some 3D graphics, love it. And then another game called Triple Threat Dice. We won't be playing that one. As well as stereo graphics package, that's pretty nice. Yeah, there we go. And then we have the Atari crossword puzzle, as usual. Oh, that's so cool, Errol. Yeah, I'm loving flipping through, getting the feel of being in the culture or time that this is in. Like we're there. We're in September 1982, checking out the magazine. Yes. And then on the back, we got an ad for Preppy. Preppy is a game, another one we're going to be seeing right around the corner. I did say that we've been through half of the games in 1982. That means September, October, November, December. There's all these games that are going to be crunched down at the very bottom of it. We're going to be playing so many games all at once. It's just going to be piling upon itself. It's so cool. All right, so there you go. The latest issue of Analog Computing. I'm really excited for the future of what's going to happen next. Sadly, we got to put our video game playing on pause and reading on pause. After all that, now you got to be really excited for what's going to come up next. For us, next episode, we have the very first platformer on the Commodore 64 and some more Mattel coming to your Atari VCS. That's it for today, and like I always say, you can find it in a magazine. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.